Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Library. Today in MMA and UFC news, Justin Gaethje reveals he's aiming for a title fight with Islam Makhachev in the near future. During a recent interview with Daniel Cormier, Gaethje had this to say.
They're trying to do you and Poirier. You want that? You want you and Poirier?
I don't know whether, I think New Jersey. Newark, yeah, Newark. I already said New York.
You want that Poirier fight?
I'd rather have a championship fight.
Because it seems like he wants to fight now too.
Gaethje also revealed he was offered to coach on The Ultimate Fighter opposite Dustin Poirier.
Before he's
in the water.
Before I signed with before I signed the physio fight, they asked me if I wanted to do the Ultimate Fighter against Poirier, and he said no.
Safe.
He said no.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't do it if I was him. I got that much money. Well, you want to pay me $80,000 to go 6 weeks away from my family? No thanks.
Do you think Justin Gaethje should be considered for a title fight against Islam Makhachev? Let us know in the comments down below. Demetrious Johnson talks about the return of Henry Cejudo and what a win over Aljamain Sterling does for his legacy. Here's the clip.
He's fighting Aljamain Sterling. What do you think it does for his legacy if he comes back after 3 years off and beats Aljamain?
I mean, his legacy is already cemented, flyweight champion, bantamweight champion, champ. I mean, you don't see many people go through that. And I believe he's the only champ that actually defend each belt, right? He beat me, defended it in flyweight, then he won it at bantamweight, then he defended it at bantamweight. So he's probably going to go down as one of the greatest combat athletes of all time, and even probably one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time, especially if he comes back and does this, take 3 years off, comes out, beat Aljamain Sterling. So we'll see. I'll be there I won't be there live watching it, but I will make time to watch it.
Gilbert Burns breaks down Belal Muhammad's skill set during a recent interview. Burns goes on to say that while Belal isn't great at anything, he certainly respects him as an opponent.
He can grapple, he can wrestle, he can strike, he can do it all, Very smart. I don't think he's great at anything, but he's good at everything, putting everything together. And he knows how to win fights. That's the most important, because we have high-level strikers that cannot grapple. We have grapplers that cannot strike. We have guys that cannot put it together. And we have guys that sometimes they're good at everything, but they don't know how to win, They still find a way to lose. That's sometimes like, man, how come that guy lost that fight, But he's not that guy. He's the opposite. Like I said, I don't think he's great at anything, but I think he's good at everything. And he knows how to win fight, And that's his biggest weapon now. It's gonna be the hungry, the guys as hungry as me, for sure. But yeah, I think I'm in pretty good shape, and he's no quitting on me. He's not quitting on him. I need to put this guy out, If I hurt him, I think I'll be able to put him out. If I don't hurt him, it's gonna be a hard fight, My fight 5 rounds, and it's gonna be a war, I think.
Chito Vera reveals he wants to be matched up with Petr Yan or Merab Dvalishvili next. During a recent interview with the Schmo, Chito had this to say.
Corey Sandhagen, man. What's life been like, since that fight over there in San Antonio?
That I said in the past, I said right now, that was on me. That night, I was off. It's, what you can do about it, right? I still fought my ass off. I still went through the whole fight, and I still training, still getting better, still improving, and eventually get a fight. So the only 2 guys I haven't fought in the top 5 is Jan and Merab. So whoever comes my way, I'm gonna kick his ass.
Kamaru Usman talks what's next for him during a recent interview with Mike Tyson. Here's what Usman had to say.
I'm loving the process right now, and I'm loving falling in love with the sport again to where, for me it's, I might just want to pop out in the next couple months and beat somebody up again, because I'm really starting to feel that, but it's at my own terms.
Anthony Smith gives his opinion on Alex Pereira's recent decision to move up to 205. Smith believes Pereira may have some problems in the division.
It's just another dude. I think he's going to have problems at 205. He's a monster light heavyweight.
Yeah.
So, put that dude next to Alexander Rakic, and Rakic will make him look tiny.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a regular size 205er in the top 8, in the top 7 or 8. Obviously, I'm a little bit on the smaller side compared to some of those guys, but Jan Blachowicz is big, Yuri Prohaska is big, Jamal Hill is big, Magomed Ankalaev is big, Alexander Rakic is absolutely huge. So you know, his size was a huge advantage at 185.
Smith then went on to give his take on who Pereira should get matched up with in his 205-pound debut.
Honestly, I would rather see him with Rakic. I think it'd make a lot of sense. I think he's a good test to see if he can hang with the big guys at 205. I think Rakic would have no problem striking with him. I think that Rakic is a good enough wrestler. Obviously, he took me down a couple times, held me there. So he's good enough of a wrestler, and he's strong enough that I think that that's a great test for him.
What do you guys think about Smith's comments? Do you think a matchup with Alexander Rakic would be a good debut fight? Let us know your opinion in the comment section. Sean O'Malley weighs in on the recent drama surrounding Israel Adesanya and his ex-girlfriend. Recently, Izzy posted a series of pictures to social media indicating that he and his ex are in a brutal spat. Here's what O'Malley had to say.
Izzy's ex-girlfriend, so not married, right? They were never married, I don't believe.
I don't think so, no.
Wants half of his... I don't know how their relationship was ever, because I didn't even know he had a girlfriend or anything, but to want half of what he's gone out there and done is absolutely ridiculous. Be happy. Izzy, give her $1,000. Like, she'll be all right. But yeah, that's crazy to want half. Unless, I mean, it's hard to say. Who knows? Maybe if they were together for 15 years since the beginning, and she didn't work because she was constantly making him food, massaging, at the gym, doing all this stuff for him, then I say, yeah, maybe not. Definitely not half. No way. Hell, half. But maybe compensate a little bit.
Michael Chiesa believes Henry Cejudo has the highest fight IQ in the game. During a recent ESPN panel, Chiesa goes on to say Cejudo made the correct decision to come out of retirement. Here's the clip.
You know, for people that can't see past the cringe, I'm going to inform you on something. Henry Cejudo probably has arguably the highest fight IQ out of any fighter. He is very cerebral. He knows what he's doing. There's a reason why he's coaching champions. And so for him to just not use that high fight IQ and just sit on the shelves while he has so much tread left on the tires, it's almost criminal for him to not come and chase that goal. I'm on board to see him go out here and fight Aljamain Sterling. And if he can get past him, fight Sean O'Malley. And if he can get past him, challenge for the featherweight title, it'd be huge.
Chiesa then goes on to debate whether or not Cejudo will have ring rust.
No, there will be no ring rust. I mean, he's immersed himself back into the trenches. Like you said, he's training with Demetrious Johnson, who in my opinion is the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. He's immersed himself in the trenches of tough training to go reclaim what he believes is his. So he knows how to avoid this mythical ring rust people talk about so much.
Michael Bisping believes Nate Diaz should be avoiding any kind of physical altercation on the street. Here's what Bisping had to say during a recent podcast.
I did say, listen, you know, the man's almost 40. You know, he needs to just maybe think a little bit more, you know, and I'm saying that from experience as a man that's been through this and a man that has had to learn and potentially, well, not potentially, had to learn the hard way, you know. And anyway, then he had to surrender himself this morning. He's been charged with second-degree battery. I read somewhere that second-degree battery maximum of 8 years and a something $1,000 fine. He's not going to get that, is he? Hal? He's going to get nowhere near that. And I was getting flamed for it. You know, all the MMA websites love to throw out Bisping says, you know what I mean? Like in a, you know, like I'm not talking about Diaz, you know, but you don't want to be getting involved in altercations on the street when you're a world-class fighter with what would be predominantly a layman, you know, a guy that's not a fighter. I know he's had a few boxing fights, but you know what I'm saying.
Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to MMA Library for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.